We don't need a ban on weapons. We need a ban on Biden. You just knew that they were going to turn the shooting in Boulder, Colorado into yet another attempt to do a gun grab. So the president finally manages to be able to speak. Can't hold a press conference. Apparently he can't walk up the stairs into Air Force One. But after gun violence, his puppeteers write him a new script, and out he comes. We've got to have a weapons ban. The Senate's got to get this done. He got it done as a senator, and mass crime went down. Bullhawk it did. Crime went down because he targeted one race of people and threw them all in jail. As far as this so-called assault weapons ban, it would really help if these people clearly defined what they're talking about, but of course they don't. They want everyone who doesn't own guns or isn't all that familiar with how guns work. They just want every one of those people to assume that everyone who does own guns, basically has machine guns in their possession and they're just out rampantly killing people. Even Faux Pas News, formerly known as Fox News, tried to tie the Atlanta shootings in with the events of Colorado, where we've got a hate crime against 8 Asian people. What about the 2 white dancers who were killed? Or are they masseuse? What about them? The gunman was not racially motivated in that case. He had a sex addiction. He obviously grew up in a very religious background and felt incredibly guilty about his sex addiction, and he took it out on those women. Had nothing to do with their race. That said, we do have a situation in Colorado that has a whole lot to do with religion and race. It is the return of radical Islamic terrorism. Oh, we couldn't say that today, though, could we, Mr. President? No, that doesn't fit the narrative. We've got to talk about endless gun violence. Why, we no sooner get one incident done and it's a new one. And all this seems to be happening on your watch. I don't seem to recall ISIS or ISIS sympathizers pulling this nonsense during the Trump years. Maybe in the very beginning, but it got under control real fast, and we crushed ISIS under Donald Trump. You've got a crisis at the border. You've got kids in cages. You're just turning people loose into our country. You have no court dates for them. You have no way of tracking and tracing them. God only knows what diseases besides coronavirus they might be carrying. We don't know anything about these people. We don't know what kind of sex trafficking among minors is taking place there. But hey, it's all good because Dr. Fauci has us wearing 2 masks for the next 2 years. This is liberal logic. This is the insanity that we wake up in every day. This is the hogwash we have to deal with. And now, take the guns! What about the fact that this guy committed an act of, what's the word I'm groping for here? Terrorism! This was a terror attack. Terror attack. Radical Islamic terrorism. It's the return of the Obama years. It's the sequel. It's term 3 of Barack Obama. Now you know why I call Beijing Biden Jobama. This is just, it's unfathomable, it's unconscionable, it's unreal. But it's to be expected. Now, first, the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media didn't really know what to do with this story. They were talking a little bit about gun violence, but they were going to circle the wagons and not deal with it at all because, oh no, we don't want to stir up Islamophobia. But now the president has given them the green light to make this all about gun confiscation. And I guarantee you, Kamala thinks she's a Hottie Harris who didn't have much to say about the border crisis yesterday when she laughed it off when she was asked, are you going to go down and see things at the border? And she laughed, not today. I'm too busy spreading my legs for people I'm not married to. Yeah, that's the kind of woman that serves as our vice president. You know what? I can't even call her. She's a call girl. That's all she is. And that's a nice way of describing her. That said, I guarantee you she's going to have something to say, though, about gun confiscation. She certainly did as a candidate. And if she couldn't go after the Second Amendment, she was going to go after gun dealers and she was going to go after ammunition. Stock up, boys and girls. It's time to defend that Second Amendment. Hey, Mary, maybe that kid, what's his name? Hogg. David Hogg. Maybe he can jump back into action now. Maybe he'll have some relevance again. Because remember, he's a survivor of the Parkland shooting. Yeah, he's a survivor like I am. I wasn't there and neither was he. He got to the school after it was over, somehow managed to sneak in after it was over, and then film himself there as if he was there while it happened, which he wasn't. He was hanging out at home that day. And you heard the way that he talked to Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, and, he was leading this, gun confiscation. Now he's going after Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Because Mike Lindell was a big Trump supporter, he was going to put MyPillow out of business with his own creation, Good Pillow. And right away it got buzz on Twitter, and it was trending. And they found out he didn't have a pillow. Well, I have an idea. Yeah, well, and he was offering like $200 if anybody could come up with his logo, another $200 if somebody had an idea for a pillow. That's what you think of your company? You're only going to invest a couple of $100. You can't understand why in overnight fashion you can't take down Mike Lindell and MyPillow. First of all, Mike Lindell has a great product. I love MyPillow. I haven't tried his other stuff yet. I want the mattress topper. And now, even his sycophant fans are finding out David Hogg is what we always knew him to be, a total and complete media whore and fraud. Other Parkland shooting victims, the real ones who were actually there, are coming forward and saying, we are so sorry. We never wanted Parkland to become into a money grab, and that's all David Hogg has turned it into. Ooh. But maybe he can have a little relevance now. Maybe he can get back out there with his little Zig Heil move and his black armband and talk about banning guns. Look what happened in Colorado. Yeah, Islam happened in Colorado. Maybe we need to interrogate Ilhan Omar, because after all, she refers to 9/11 as that thing that happened because of some people. And isn't it amazing? You know why these incidents keep happening? Look who's in charge. Look who's running things now. The deep state is feeling emboldened again. Orange man gone. So now here it comes. They have a playbook and they have an agenda. And one of the things they love to do is they want to disarm law-abiding citizens. So we're gonna keep, whether these are false flags or not, we're gonna keep this up and keep this up and keep this up and keep this up. And what happens is the American people, they just by and large want to be left alone to live their lives. They'll get the stupid vaccine because they think then they'll be able to take their masks off and go back to normal. But not if Dr. Fauci has something to say about it, and he does. And when they hear about all of this endless gun violence, please just make it stop. Okay. So Biden managed to pop a couple of Prevagen, hold himself together to give a carefully crafted teleprompter speech, from the heart, of course. Does he condemn radical Islamic terrorism? No, he just wants your Second Amendment gone. And when the Second Amendment is gone, boys and girls, being canceled on Twitter and YouTube will be the least of our problems because we'll have no way to safeguard any of the other rights and amendments. Quick rant, tell me what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Smack the bell, click the word all to get notification of my next rant.